My name is Whitney Wilhite, and the title of my informative speech is The Joys and Dangers of Riding a Sports Bike. Riding a sports bike is fun until you crash. Um, it happened to me. I was riding to work um, as I had done the entire summer, and as I traveled, I could see an elderly gentleman with his turn signal on in a fairly congested area. And the closer I got to him, I knew that he couldn't see me. I blew my horn and attempted to get his attention. And the closer I got, he began to turn. And I remember hitting his car and flying through the air, and I could see the sky. And, my life flashed before my eyes. Um, I was knocked unconscious, and when I woke up, my helmet was off, my shoes were off. I think I had a backpack on. It was nowhere to be found, but I was thankful to be alive. There's so much that one should know prior to riding a sports bike. Whether you have experience or not, it is highly recommended that you take a certified instructor led motorcycle safety course. Um, in an article from Ride Now published in March of 2020, it stated that riding a sports bike can be beneficial to the mental health due to the endorphins released, providing us with that good feeling. Before purchasing my bike, I did a lot of research on the different types of bikes that there were. And I also took a motorcycle safety class so that I could get the motorcycle endorsement on my driver's license. And the first time I climbed on my bike after purchasing it, I was excited. I thought I felt free. And I just couldn't wait for the thrill of all of, riding with all the other motorcycle riders and getting out there and zooming in and out of traffic. Um, but there is a saying that goes around the motorcycle community. There are those that have crashed and those who will crash. Let's uncover a few things about sports bikes. Does anyone know what a sports bike actually is? The Encyclopedia Britannica defines a motorcycle as a two or three wheeled motor vehicle, usually propelled by an internal combustion engine. And in the year 1900, many manufacturers were converting bicycles by adding a centrally mounted spark engine. Motorcycles were used as transportation during World War II, and when the soldiers returned home, motorcycle popularity skyrocketed, with many of those war veterans creating motorcycle riding clubs. The most notable one is Hells Angels. CargoSystems.com stated in a May 2020 article, its popularity and influence of motorcycle culture spread during the 1960s and 70s, with engineers began to create new forms of motorcycles that were designed for performance. These new bikes were quite unlike the slow Harley Cruisers, which has always been designed for comfort and long distance riding. Instead, these new generations of motorcycles prioritized sensitive handling, powerful engines, and of course, extreme speeds. The sports bike was born. Currently, there are three categories of motorcycles: the cruiser, sports bike, and scooters. Let's think about the joys that come from the usage of each of these motorcycles. Scientific research has been done, and the results are in. There are health benefits to riding a motorcycle. Riding a motorcycle increases decision making skills, which promotes brain activity. In an article by American Motorcycle Trading Company published in June of 2021, it states that constantly exercising your brain improves long-term cognition. It creates a sense of peace and happiness due to the endorphins that are released. Also, in an article from Ride Now, published in March of 2020, they stated that a scientific study was conducted by Yamaha Japan and Tohoku University that found that riding a motorcycle improves your cognitive function by as much as 50%. Riding a motorcycle requires a prominent level of alertness and rapid problem solving. This drives the brain to get active by riding a motorcycle. Motorcycles have become a popular mode of transportation for commuters. You'll see that motorcycles are permitted to ride in the HOV lane during rush hour traffic because they use less gas and emit less emissions. Um, Also, in a article from greenrideal.com published in July of 2022, it says that motorcycles are made from recyclable material. With all the joys and contributions, there's also dangers of riding a sports bike. Most people associate riding a sports bike with speed, as they often see motorcycle riders zooming in and out of traffic at high rates of speed, um, barreling down straightaways, and having near misses. Um, Motorcycles are naturally considered more dangerous than riding in a car. Riders are also at an increased risk of being in an accident and death, as stated in a 2021 article published by the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration. Other had Other hazards include potholes, rain, and road debris. Motorcycles contain a low visual profile, which means that they're hard to see, which is the main cause of a lot of accidents for motorcyclists is when vehicles pull out of parking lots or parking spaces and don't see the motorcycle rider, which is why it's encouraged that motorcycle riders wear the high vision yellow or any type of reflective gear when riding at night. Um, Failing to adapt safe riding practices can lead to severe injury and death. Motorcycle riding is an acquired skill and has its pros and cons. We must tie in the benefits and consider the risk while operating a motorcycle. I've informed you of the joys and the dangers of riding a sports bike. It gives us a sense of freedom and allows us to be close to nature, and it's gentler on the environment. You also know how dangerous riding a sports bike can be. Motorcycle accidents contribute to many deaths each year. Riders are not taking the time to learn how to properly operate a motorcycle, which leads to their lack of experience. I believe that everything we do from day to day is an inherent danger, but we take a higher risk when we get on a motorcycle. So please, during those warmer months when you're operating your vehicle, please look out for the motorcycle riders. Thank you.